this is Lady Shell, and I'm here with another video on how to make a character using Fantasy Grounds. We are now working on the Druid. So, I'm going to check here to see what the most important abilities are for the Druid. And it is Wisdom and Constitution. So, let's close that down, and I will give my Druid a name. Drusilla, and we are going to start with our abilities. We're using the standard array, which is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. You can put them in any order, but as you've seen in the description where I had the quick start open, the Druid's most important stat is their wisdom. So I'm putting my 15 in wisdom. I am putting my 14 in con, because that was the second most important. I'm going to put my 13 in dex. I'm going to put my 12 in charisma. My 10 in strength, and intelligence will be 8. Okay, there's my abilities, and let's go with background next. Let's open the background tab, move this over, let you see the Fantasy Grounds decal. And what should we pick for background for our Druid? I am going to guess that the Hermit would be an obvious choice. So I will pick Hermit. And I want to put this on Player's Handbook. Drag the Hermit over to the background, and I'm going to save the Hermit because I'm going to be using it later on in this video. Close that down. You can see in the chat window that I got medicine and religion as my skills I'm proficient in, and I've got the feature of discovery. I've got a herbalism kit, and I've got an extra language. The next thing that we're going to do after background is race. So let's open the race tab. Now, since wisdom is the most important thing, what can I get that gives me wisdom? You know what? I'm going to check on these race ability modifiers and see which races give you wisdom. Aarakocra, Osmere, Protector Osmere, Centaur, Hill Dwarf, Wood Elf, Firbolg, Genasi, Gith, Halfling, a Ghostwise Halfling, Human, Kenku, Lizard Folk, and Loxodon. I think I'm going to make a wood elf. That makes sense to me. Okay, so for race, we're going to pick elf. I want to go with the Player's Handbook. I want to pick elf. Drag that over to the race. Close the race feature, and it wants me to pick a sub-race, which I've already decided that wood elf is what I want to be. Click that, and we've got some additional skills added, as well as dark vision. And the last thing we want to pick is our class, which obviously is a Druid. I'm going to go with Player's Handbook again. Druid. Drag. Close. And it wants me to choose 2 skills. Now I already have skills from picking my background and my race. I have medicine, perception, and religion. So let's pick 2 more additional skills. I'm going to say insight because insight is based on wisdom and I have high wisdom. And I'm going to say nature because she's a druid, right? She needs nature. It would be just perfect for her. Okay, so we have our druid and she's a hermit, wood elf, level 1, but we want to make her a level 3. So I'm going to click the hourglass, drag this over here, and you never want to just type 3 in this box. You want to take this shield, drag it off of the tab and back on, and I have a circle option now. I'm going to be I think I'm going to be the Druid of the Moon. Shape. Yeah, I'm going to take Druid of the Moon. You can look through any of the options over here by clicking the shields and reading up on them if you wanted to take a different option. I'm going to click OK. And I do want to make her level 3, so I will take the shield again, drag it off and back on. Now I can close this down. She's a level 3 druid. Let's give her a picture. There's her picture. Okay, so we've got our first page completed. And let's go to the skills, which we've already gone through. But we do have abilities. And on some of these abilities, I'm going to be adding manual things, like this Herbalism Kit. And yeah, Herbalism Kit is the only thing that I'm going to be adding manually. And, oh, well, actually, I want to also add healing potions. So I'm going to open the items tab. I'm going to type healing. I'm going to get a potion of healing and put 2 in my inventory. And I'm going to get what was the other thing that it gave me? It gave me a Herbalism Kit. So, herb. Drag this over. Whoa, right tab. I'm on the wrong tab. Inventory. Okay. And because it says I'm proficient in the Herbalism Kit, I'm going to go to the skill page, going to edit, scroll up to the top with the green X. I'm going to add that I'm proficient in Herbalism Kit. So I type Herbalism Kit. I click on the star to say that it's proficient. It moves down here because it likes to do the alphabetizing thing when you leave the line. And Herbalism Kit, I'm going to tie it to her wisdom. Okay, so there's all of those. Let's click this back off. Go back to the Abilities tab. And let's go through our features. Circle forms. The rights of a circle grant you the ability to transform into more dangerous animal forms. Starting at level 2, you can use your wild shape to transfer into a beast as high as 1. You can ignore the max CR column of the beast shapes table, but you must abide by the other limitations. And when they say that, they're talking about you can't have an animal that flies or swims, but it can be as high as a CR2, or 1 rather. Okay, so that, I'm not sure if that's a coded thing. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Circle of the Moon. This just talks about the things that, this is my archetype, so it's telling me what I get from it, which is wild shape. Let's put wild shape because that's definitely something that I'm going to be using. Discovery is just a role-playing thing that because you were hermit, that when you're in secluded areas, that you have, you're able to discover things. So that's that. Druidic. Aha! I do have something different. Druidic is a language. Let's go to the Notes tab. No, not Notes tab. Sorry. Yeah, this tab. No, not this tab. Is it the Notes tab? No. I am lost here. It's this tab. I'm sorry. It's the Abilities tab. And it says I have Common, Elvish, and one of your choice. Okay, the one of my choice is going to be Sylvan. But it also gives me Druidic. This is another language that's a Druid language. To do this, I'm going to type in Druidic, and then close the editing thing. Whoops, did I spell it right? Druidic. Yes, I did. Okay, but Fantasy Grounds does not include Druidic as one of its base languages, so I'm going to have to add Druidic to the language things, or else when she wants to talk Druidic with another Druid in the game, if there was one, she would not be able to use the language selection to add it, because you can see Druidic is not on here. So I'm going to edit list, add a new function. I'm going to type Druidic, and I'm going to for the what shows the the letters, the way that it shows. I'm going to use the Elven feature. So if I said something in Druidic, now it's on the list. And if I typed something, why is it? Didn't I give it a Druidic? Oh, I didn't give it a thing. I thought I did. Here, I want it to use the Elvish font. Elven font. Okay, so I typed Elven. Now when I type something, it should give the, yeah. This is the Elven font down here. Okay, so anyway, other people that spoke Druidic would be able to see this translation. Otherwise, they would just see this font and not know what I was talking about. So I'm going to go and put this back to no language so that it's just types in common. And I'm going to close this down. Okay, so we're done with Druidic. And I'm going to go back here. Spellcasting is another thing. We're going to be adding Druid spells to our Actions tab. And Wild Shape. And Elf Weapon Training. These are traits. This Elf Weapon Training is what I got because of my Elven heritage. And it says I have proficiency with long sword, short sword, short bow, and long bow. And that would be weapons. I'm going to add those to this weapons feature so that in case I'm carrying a long sword, short bow, or long bow that I'm proficient in, it doesn't give me a disadvantage. Okay. And it says that they only wear wooden armor and shields. Okay, so I did the weapon training. Fey ancestry is a racial trait. Keen senses is also a racial trait. Oh, wait a minute. That just says you have proficiency in perception. Believe that already added. Yep, I'm proficient in perception. I was thinking it was a feature. Okay, Mask of the Wild, that's a feature, racial feature. You can attempt to hide even when you're only lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, falling snow, mist, and other natural phenomena. Trance means that elves don't need to sleep. I don't believe there's any coding for this. You just would sleep for 4 hours where other races would sleep for 8, and you just go into a trance. Okay, so that's a role play thing. We're not going to add that. And we are done with this. But you know what? I don't like that it gave me 2 herbalism kits because I only need 1. Okay. Now, did it give herbalism kit? Did I add that? Yes, I added that. Okay. Now, the other things that I get for my inventory, I'm going to use Rob Tui's background and class equipment bundles. Now, to do that, that's tied with the parcels. You can get that mod on the Dungeon Masters Guild. Rob has a bunch of mods that I recommend you using, and this is one of them. So to get the parcels that are tied with his background and class equipment bundles, I will group that to the correct group. Now I'm going to go back here. I picked Hermit. I'm going to scroll down this list to where it says Hermit, and I'm going to choose Hermit. Uh-oh, wait, first I need to be on the right tab. Okay, now I can drag it. And it's going to give me all the things in my inventory that relate to the Hermit background. And I don't believe I should have 2 herbalism kits. I didn't realize it was going to give me the herbalism kit, so I'm going to change that back to 1. The second part of this mod is the actual class. Starting equipment for a druid. I just drag this over and we have that. And we have a backpack, and we're going to fill our backpack with the items from our inventory. Let me close this. Now to do this, you're going to left click on this line to where it says empty. I'm going to backspace to delete where it says empty, all the way back to the K in back. Do not leave a space there. Now the things that I want to put in the backpack, I'm going to type a location of backpack on the location line. And over here you can see these little symbols. This says that it's carried. The things that I am equipping, like my leather armor, will have the shirt symbol. And my scimitar, shirt symbol. My shield, shirt symbol. Okay, so we're going to put our items into the backpack. I type a capital B. And the things that you equip, you don't want to put in your backpack. Don't want to put your scimitar or shield. Gets finicky when you don't type the capital B. So I have everything in my backpack that I'm carrying. And to adjust that, just change the lines. You can see it indented all the items that are in your backpack. And these are the items that I'm carrying, that I'm equipped. And down here you see I have 5 gold. Now we're going to head over to the Notes tab. We're going to reopen the Hermit, which I told you that I would be using later in the tutorial. I'm going to go to the bottom of this page where I find these tables. This I call my role-playing tab because all the things on here allow you to role-play your character. Your gender, your age, your height, your weight, your alignment, your deity, and your personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws, your appearance, and your notes. And in your notes, you might want to put something like your backstory. How did you become a hermit? Or were you always a hermit? Just whatever you want to put for your backstory, that's what you would type down there. That's not necessary. I'm not going to put it in. You can put it in when you make your character. But I'm going to roll for my traits here. You can roll for them, or you can use the tables and look at what's on this list and pick what you want, or you can type whatever you want in these sections. I'm just going to roll for them. But first I want to delete what's on this page so I can see my rolls better. So this is my personality trait. I'm going to left click on the text and drag it into personality traits. I'm going to do the same with the ideals, bonds, and flaws. And flaw. Like it's delight, just a little too much. That's kind of cute. Okay, so we're done with that. We can close this back down. This is the role playing. Next tab is your log. This is for if you did Adventure League. You would type in your DCI number and your faction. You would type in your adventures here. We're not going to do that since we're not doing that. We're just making the character. Now I have my scimitar, and I thought I had a dagger or something. Let me look at my... Oh, just the scimitar and our shield and our armor. So she doesn't have a lot, but she makes do with what she has. I'm going to make some different headers in here to separate out the different sections of information. First, I'm going to make standard actions. And I'm going to make consumables. I'm going to make racial traits. And lastly, I'm going to make class traits. Okay, let's close that. Now we have, we're going to be using Rob Turi's spell effects coding. And down here, I'm going to type Druid. And then 0. These are all my cantrips, which is not going to be in any of these. This will be in this. These are the spells that my character gets. And I would like to look up, because I forgot to do this ahead of time, and see how many spells a druid gets. It says... You can get 2 cantrips. We're going to have 4 first level spells, 2 second level spells, and the 2 cantrips. So let's get our cantrips first. Now we had the wild shape to get its 2nd level. Create bonfire. We're going to have wild shape. That's wild shape? I thought wild shape was level 2. Yeah, it is. It's a cantrip level 2. Oh, okay. Let's do Shillelagh. And we're going to put this up here in spell slots. And we're going to put Frostbite. And we're going to put Wild Shape. And we're going to put Create Bonfire. And, you know, mending might come in handy occasionally. I'll put that in there too. So we have our cantrips in here. And I'm going to click on the hourglass so that I drop them down to just a single line. So they're not taking up so much space. Okay, let's go to our level 1 spells. We get 4 level 1 spells. And I'm going to drag them up here to where the spell slots are, and they will create a new power like I did with these 3 here. Let's do Cure Wounds, because you never know. You might need to heal somebody. Your party might not have a cleric. And let's do Entangle. That's a good one. And how about Fairy Fire? I picked that with my Bard, but might as well pick it with the Druid too. Good Berry. I mean, not good Berry. Fog Cloud. Let's see, I have 4 now. Fog Cloud. Okay, so there's my 4 first level spells. A Druid is similar to a cleric where you can have all these spells in your inventory, but you can only learn each day a certain amount that's equal to your spell slots. I'm going to add Thunderwave. And Ice Knife. Okay, but remember, she can only take 4, but it just gives her the option to take which 4. Okay, level 2, we get 2 spells at level 2. And because the Druid only wears leather armor, I would think that they're going to need the bark skin. Might be very helpful for them. So I'm going to take that as one of my 2 second level spells. And maybe Flame Blade. That sounds good. But you know what? I'm taking Healing Spirit too. I've seen this in action. My friend plays a Druid and he plays it really well. And Healing Spirit is very helpful. And Moonbeam is also helpful. Remember, you're only going to be able to take to study 2 of these spells each morning. Okay, so that's enough. I'm going to go back down here to 2nd level, and I'm going to click on my hourglass so that everything goes down to just a single level. And now I want to do these other sections that I didn't finish. This class traits, like let's see, circle forms. So do you see circle forms on here? No, I've got the wild shape. I already did the wild shape. That was in the cantrip. Mask of the Wild. Maybe they don't have any class traits. I'm going to delete that section because I don't see any class traits. And I'm going to delete that. We do have consumables. We're going to be tracking our healing potions. We're going to be tracking our torches. Water skin. And rations. But I'm going to swap these two places because I want healing potions in the top spot. And I'll change this one to the second one to rations. Okay, healing potions. Now I want to give it a function so that when you use a healing potion, the game knows how much to heal. So I'm going to right click on where it says healing potions. I'm going to choose where it says add action, and I'm going to choose where it says add heal. And you see that it added a second line with a blank spot for us to tell it how much it's going to heal for each potion. I left click, I get my healing box open here, and I already know that a healing potion does 2d4 plus 2. I'm going to take my 4-sided dice, grab it with my left click, click once with the right click to make 2 dice, and drag it over the box here. And now it added the 2 dice into the dice area, and I'm going to need to add a 2 in the bonus. Now we have healing potions that are equal to 2d4 plus 2. Simple. Okay, but we don't know, how do we know how many of these things are in our inventory? So we click to preparation. We change daily to once on each of these 4 items. We have 2 healing potions, so I'm going to type the number 2 here. We have 10 rations. I'm going to type the number 10. We have 10 torches. I'm going to type the number 10. And I have 1 water skin. And type the number 1. Okay, so all these are coded correctly. And I can change back to combat. Whoops, combat. Oh, come on. Combat and actions. And you can see now that I have healing potions. It's got the healing formula here. And when you use them, you check them off. They do not deduct from your inventory. This is just where you're going to track them on this page here. Rations, when you eat something, you're going to click on it. When you use a torch, you're going to click on it. When your water skin is empty, you're going to click on it, and then you're going to have to find a stream and fill it up again. Okay, so we've got our consumables coded now, and we need to move on to our racial traits. Now, racial traits are not related to Druid because that's class. So we're going to change to Elf because that's our race. So we changed to Elf, and we've got Fey ancestry. And I'm going to drag this over here, and that puts that in there. And let's see, I believe they're going to give me, they're going to give me this Mask of the Wild, I believe, which is a trait from being a wood elf, which is my subclass. So I'm going to scroll down to wood. And now you see, here's my elf, Mask of the Wild. So I drag that in there. Now I have my 2, whoops, And I want to delete the empty spot. Close that down. And I wanted to show you when Drusilla's in the game on the combat tracker, when she starts her game, she's going to put this effect on herself by clicking and dragging. And Mask of the Wild, this is only when she was gonna hide, and she can put this on herself also, and she would drag that into her sheet. This tells the DM what things are available, what is going on with her right now. Oh, I put it on the wrong person. To take things off your person, you would click on this winged boot and delete, delete, and let's put it on the right person. There. So she has them on her character now. Okay, so we have our racial traits. Let's make them one line long only. We have our consumables. We have our cantrips, our level 1 spells, level 2 spells, and our standard actions, which we haven't done yet. So I'm going to add another spot in there. I'm going to change this to no source. And I'm going to type in this top box the word action. And you'll see I have dodge, help, hide, and ready. And I'm going to delete the ones that I don't need. And I'm going to click on the hourglass so everything just takes up one space, one line, and we are done. We have all of our spells and skills and traits coded. Our consumables are coded, and our abilities are added. We have our inventory all put up nice in the backpack, and we have all of our abilities coded. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and will continue watching me when I do the next one. And if you have any comments, please leave the comment in the bottom. I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.